Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video, the F1 2021 My Team Career Mode, episode number 25 today for the Belgium Grand Prix of Season 2, round number 9. If you missed the previous episode at Hungary, go and check that out and subscribe if you are new to the channel to see plenty more F1 2021 related gameplay. But yes, let's address the elephant in the room, Carlos Sainz. I've made it known to you in the past couple of episodes that we're going to fire him at the earliest opportunity. And this is that opportunity. Goodbye, Carlos. He hasn't scored points. He hasn't done anything, really. He's just been sat behind. We're going to approach Charles Leclerc. Second time lucky? No. He still wanted Spec 2 on the marketing. We only have Spec 1, which was being a shame because Leclerc would have obliterated it. He would have done brilliantly in this car. 82 Focus, and we would have been overtaken. We would have tried to overtake Ferrari as well. I'm going to approach Lando Norris, partly because Pierre Gasly was the other option, but Gasly, apart from his win at Canada, has mostly struggled throughout the races, I feel. So that's why I decided to go for Norris, even though he had a DNF at the previous race. Otherwise it would have been a 3 wins in a row. We are looking to improve. He's got a good focus, 75, not as good as Leclerc, but hopefully he can get the grips with this car and it will be good for us, especially for the qualifying when I'm not that great. But we're just trying to get ahead of the McLaren. They are taking their time about it to decide whether or not they want to keep Norris or not. And we've actually won in the end. So Norris, welcome to San Pellegrino Phoenix. He's 96 rated with 75 focus. That's what we like to see. Unfortunately, off screen, there was a little bit of an event that degraded his focus. As soon, I will be doing as much as humanly possible to make sure that his focus is as high as possible. We are going to upgrade a fabrication on this because that's the only one we can afford, just in case we need to do multiple durability upgrades at some point. We have got the least amount of durability upgrades. In terms though of stuff to upgrade, we're going to look at, I thought about we're going to look at this major rear downforce upgrade. We haven't got enough to do both, the front one as well, but we're going to put that one on anyway. And we're going to put a minor ERS upgrade. We've got a major engine power upgrade that's going to put us ahead of Alpine. So when these upgrades, we've got a load of upgrades still to come. We've still got some coming in anyway, thanks to Ferrari here at Belgium, which has of course helped Ferrari grow up, but it's also helped us move up, and Alfa Romeo and Haas have also moved up. Yes, so obviously we're never going to catch the top 3 in that, but but the only way is up from here. Replacing Norris at McLaren, Sebastian Vettel, who jumped ships from AlphaTauri, 4th and 5th place in 2 races, so he's very good as well. AlphaTauri have chosen Raikkonen to replace Vettel as well, and Guan Yu Zhou replaces Raikkonen at Alfa Romeo. So Sainz is without a drive at the moment as well. But yes, moving to qualifying then, Q1. We'll see what we can do. This will be a big test for Lando to see what he can do in the car. How quickly can he get up to speed with the car compared to the McLaren? Bearing in mind he has been driven a Mercedes powered McLaren and a Renault McLaren, so he's never driven a Ferrari powered engine, which is what we have. So that would be interesting to see how quickly he gets up to speed with the car. At the moment he's ahead of us in qualifying, so if he out qualifies me, because I was wiping the floor with Sainz pretty much, apart from a couple, I think Hungary and Silverstone, which I'm not great at anyway. Apart from those, if Norris goes on to out-qualify me here by quite a margin, yes, I'm terrible in the middle sector at Belgium, but in the first and the last sector, I'm actually faster than the AI. as well, which sort of levels it out. And we're actually we did a second one. We didn't need to do a second one. Vettel going very well. The only man in the 39s in Q1. He's first. We beat Lando by 100th of a second, so that's not too bad in your first outing. Bottas, don't know what happened to him. He decided to, I think he crashed on an outlap. I don't have a recording of that, I'm afraid. There's no replay cameras in qualifying. So Bottas is starting from the back again. Maybe he's going to do his top gear from the rear like he did at Hungary as well. But anyway, moving into Q2, you notice I've gone out straight away. That's because there's rain coming for the second, literally in about 2 minutes. So we need to get this time done as soon as possible. Otherwise, we're gonna, well, we might be able to sneak ahead of some of the other drivers into Q3, which would be the first time this season we've actually managed to be into Q3 as well, compared to I think we managed a couple of times last year in season 1. I know we made it in Austria. I think we managed on one other occasion as well to make it into Q3 in my team on F1 2020. Pouan, I hate that corner, we always go wide, and then this corner as well, I always lose time to the AI, this one and this one as well. They're just painful corners. You just got to drive through them because the AI are ridiculously overpowered through those corners. And then of course we come out of into the third sector, and then all of a sudden I breathe a sigh of relief and start to claim back on the AI as well. It's looking like it might be starting to just spit with rain as well as we come to the end of our lap. It shouldn't affect us too much through the end of this lap. Not like Perez claimed at the US Grand Prix, or a little bit wide through the bus stop, but nevertheless it's a 1:41.8, which is our fastest lap. Unfortunately, Vettel out slams that in, it's shut with a 1:41.2, and in the end, it's good news. Both of us made it into Q3. So both cars into Q3 for the first time this season. Ricciardo out, Gasly out, Perez out. 3 big names knocked out in Q2. They will have free choice of tyres as the race is dry, but nevertheless it should be a one-stop end. We might be able to do one of our alternative one-stops as well. Yes, into Q3 it was dry again, so we'll be 9th and 10th. I don't think we have the pace to actually be in Q3 if it was dry throughout the entirety of Q2. So it's a good result that we have made it into Q3. Norris as well is clearly out qualifying me. First run wasn't that great on a scrub set of tyres as well. So we're 8/10th improvement, not enough to actually get anything other than P10, only a 10th faster than my Q2 time. So Verstappen though is the one that's on pole ahead of Hamilton, Alonso as well, flying the flag there for Alpine. Raikkonen and Tsunoda as well out there, so we'll see what we can do. Time though for the race.
Welcome along then to the Belgian Grand Prix, the race that gave us the maiden victory for the Jordan team in 1998, and in the same team the phenomenal debut of a young Michael Schumacher. There's always something special around one of the many corners of this fan-favourite circuit. Spa-Francorchamps then, a historic 19-corner circuit with a lap distance of 4.35 miles. There's over 100 metres of elevation change here, and with long stretches of the lap spent flat out, a good top speed will be vital for success. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Why don't we discuss McLaren? What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Fernando Alonso, Leclerc, Kimi Raikkonen, and Tsunoda, Stroll, Norris, the owner driver, and Esteban Ocon, Ricciardo, Vettel, Mick Schumacher, and Gasly, Perez, Giovinazzi, George Russell and Nicholas Latifi, Giotto, Mazepin, Bottas and Guan Yu Zhou. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
So race strategy is a one-stop. We should be able to get points in this race though. Bearing in mind we are starting the top 10. Norris, can he get points? He's done enough, I think. We're actually starting P9 because Vettel is outside the top 10. Both McLaren's outside the top 10. Now 5 lights are out and away we go, and it's a good start. Norris has had a good start. Can he dive it down the inside of Tsunoda? We're going to dive it down the inside of both of them. Try and get the inside of Stroll and Leclerc. But Stroll's going to out-traction both of us there. He's going to move up into P5. As Fernando Alonso there takes the lead ahead of Max Verstappen. So Alonso is in. Raikkonen is up to third. So the medium tyre runners clearly not getting the greatest of starts of Hamilton and Verstappen. We'll see if they come back later on in this race. As we go wide through Puon, Tsunoda has got back in front of Norris, which is annoying. We're going to try and, as I say, we'll try and force Tsunoda out. Hopefully Norris can just follow us through around the outside. No, he can't, unfortunately. Maybe he got, I don't know if he's got, maybe he got a little bit, trying to get a bit damaged. But unfortunately, he might have a little bit of damage because Ricciardo now, he was on the back of Tsunoda, Norris, and now he's lost out to... unfortunately to Ricciardo. Remember, we got simulation damage, unfortunately, so that's really annoying. As I just thought though, at the time, he's going to be a one-stop from soft to mediums now because tyre wear lap 4 isn't that high. So to be going for soft to mediums is quite good. I suspect Norris will probably just go soft to hard, so we might need to do some. As I say, this race is a good eye opener to see where we need to make upgrades. Tyre wear, engine, and aero seem to be the way to go. As Alonso and Verstappen are going side by side down towards Puon. Alonso will have the inside line for Puon and will force Verstappen out. But next lap is a deja vu, but Verstappen now has the inside line towards Puon, so Verstappen is the one that's going to go down the inside and force Alonso out, and Verstappen now takes the race lead and should comfortably go on to win this race ahead of Hamilton potentially if he can get in front of Alonso, but Hamilton's still behind Raikkonen there. As Sebastian Vettel hasn't had a great start, he's still stuck behind Ocon, and Vettel is out of the Grand Prix unfortunately. Not a great start then to his McLaren career mode, and that was a new engine as well, so unfortunately the curse of a new engine has struck again in his career mode, as we're now up to P5 ahead of Leclerc pits. I suspect for hard tyres, I think that's Alonso in as well. We're going to come in on lap 9 then for our mediums. Verstappen and Hamilton going to continue on, see what they do. Verstappen's comfortable anyway, so we'll see what we can do is come into the pits at the end of lap number 9. Hopefully we can have a good stop, please, as Schumacher and Perez both start outside the top 10. They're also coming through. I don't think anyone outside the top actually started on the medium tyre. I think we're all starting the softs outside the top 10. 2.4 seconds, that's better. That's better. Unfortunately, we're going to feed out in a whole load of traffic. Ahead of Bottas, who's once again doing his top gear from the rear. He's up to 10. Well, I think Bottas, I don't know if he's yet to stop or not. And Russell, I think, might have actually also started on mediums, excuse me. But Ocon jumped us in the pit stops with the undercut. But however, we're going to have DRS, ERS, and even though the Alpine Renault power train is actually faster than for ours, we are able to power pass up into P8. Norris unfortunately has dropped back. I suspect he has, as I said earlier, damage to his front wing unfortunately. And next up is Stroll, who's well, he's dawdling unfortunately through this race. Stroll did try not to give us any space, and we just bullied our way through anyway. Now we're coming alive on these medium tyres, as Ricciardo as well is also coming in alive. Leclerc is on the hard tyre now, so he is a sitting duck compared to Ricciardo. And they're side by side through Eau Rouge and up to Radion. We'll get an on board with Leclerc to see if there was any contact. No, it was just a little bit of twitch from Ricciardo as he went over the curb there. And Leclerc now is slow on his hard tyres. He's a rolling roadblock. We're going to die down the inside comfortably ahead now of the Ferrari car. Move up into P6. We're on for a good result. Unfortunately though, Raikkonen is being overtaken by Ricciardo. We get in front row seat as Ricciardo is able to get Raikkonen. Raikkonen places his car well. Here at the Finn, Kimi obviously knows what he's doing. Now the next lap we're going to have DRS on Raikkonen, lap 14. He tries to squeeze us to the grass. We're having absolutely none of it, and we're through up into P5. So this is a very good result, but I suspect Ricciardo now will sail off into the sunset. As up in front, Hamilton is coming back at Alonso. It's been many laps now. Verstappen has cleared off into the sunset. He's yet to make his stop. Hamilton tried to undercut Raikkonen there. As Raikkonen comes back on the hards through the middle sector, I'm unable to pull away from Raikkonen, I'm afraid. The AlphaTauri is very good in a straight line, I must say, as well. And Leclerc there is able to, as I forced out Raikkonen, Leclerc is able to overtake Raikkonen into the middle sector. So Leclerc is the one behind us now. But bear in mind, I prefer to have Leclerc, as we've now got a DRS failure as well. So that is really unfortunate. We're not going to be able to fight back if anyone does come past with DRS, but rather have Leclerc behind me than Raikkonen, because Leclerc has the same, and you can see there how slow that Ferrari powertrain is compared to the Honda, because Raikkonen has gone through with DRS. So Raikkonen is back in front of Leclerc. Raikkonen then comes and have a look at us on the lap number 22. He's going to try and go around the outside. We're going to have none of it. Remembering how he forces onto the grass, and we're going to attain P5. Ricciardo is on fire. 13.8 seconds. We'll come back to that little battle in a moment because he's caught up to Ricciardo. But Leclerc has better sashi through the middle sector. I forced Raikkonen out a little bit, and Leclerc is back up into P6. Here we go then. Ricciardo versus Alonso. This is for P3, the final podium. This would be a good race for Ricciardo. A comeback race from being outside the top 10, knocked out in Q2, and he is through onto the podium. But yes, moving to the last lap, then Leclerc is having a go through the end of the straight, and Raikkonen is back in front of Leclerc. So again, we forced Leclerc out, and Raikkonen is the one that's going to get the better of Leclerc. The man who replaced him at Ferrari, as Leclerc gets he gets shoved out by me. As I say, I'm defending this position as we want points for P5. It's a very good P5 today. We're coming through though. Raikkonen isn't able to catch us through the bus stop, and we're coming at a very good P5. Alonso and Ricciardo far too far in front in the end.
Take care of the car on the way in.
But nevertheless, that's a very good result. It's good points for us. Unfortunately for Norris, I think he had damage, which is why he was P15. But that might affect his focus as well. I shall show you his focus stat in a minute. But Verstappen, is that the start shots? He's going to have good focus now. Will that mean that he can start his late charge? As I say, I think Norris, he did a good time. His fastest lap was similar to mine, and he wasn't that far off me in the end, only 6 seconds. He got a bit stuck behind Tsunoda, unfortunately, as well. But as I say, he is a two-time race winner. I think he will come back as soon as we get we just need to get all these upgrades on the car, and then we need to target tyre wear as well. That will be good, and then maybe aero and engine power as well. As I say, we have got upgrades coming on those as well. So we're going to max that. We're going to try and max this car out to the best of our ability. Obviously, we will probably hit a wall at some point, and we need to upgrade the facility to Spec 3. In terms of the constructors, though, we're obtained P6 comfortably. The target is P4. We are targeting Alpine. We just need to get Norris scoring as well in the final. Remember, we have got a longer tail than normal because I've taken a couple of the races out, so we will have Remember, the finale is Australia. Unfortunately, unable to increase Lando's focus between now and the next Grand Prix, Italy, because there's no event for me to do that. We will look to upgrade. I think there's a department that makes sure that department is maxed out to most port, but he is 97 rated now. But his focus has dropped by 5 to 70. So we'll see if we can boost that focus with the department. That'll be in the next race as well. But he will bounce back. He had a good start, a good run between that, and he was dominating the Hungarian Grand Prix until that failure. But Red Bull won the past 2 races now. Will that signal the time of resurgence for Red Bull? Bottas only P9. Ricciardo, though, is on fire. P3. McLaren look very good. So Vettel, we'll see where he can do, if he can be a nuisance and get his payback for his depart for what. Well, obviously these two have been teammates before. Will Vettel now be the one that comes and wipes the floor with Ricciardo? We'll have to wait and see. But if you have then enjoyed this video, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel for new. You see plenty more episodes of the F1 2021 My Team Career Mode as they come out. Until the next video, then I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.